Mr. Albert?
Yes.
Mr. Carney?
Yes.
Mr. Rush?
Yes.
Ms. Stryker?
Yes.
Mr. Watkins?
Yes. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance.
Oh, you're fine.
Need a motion for the approval of minutes of the November 18th, 2019 meeting.
Stryker?
Stryker?
Rush.
Any discussion? Not will have a vote, please.
Mr. Carney?
Yes.
Mr. Rush?
Yes.
Ms. Stryker?
Yes.
Mr. Watkins?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes. Now, we'll go to our presentations for the evening.
Are you ready?
So tonight is a pretty special night, and I hope that it becomes a tradition. This is the first graduate from the 22+ program from the Ohio Department of Education. And so tonight we get to recognize Amber Judy Greenwood with a high school diploma. And so Amber, if you'd please come up, we're very proud of you. And I've asked Amber to share a little bit about the program and how she accomplished this.
Okay, Graduation Alliance, they're partnered with Owens Community College. I happened to, for 21 years, I made the mistake of dropping out of school when I was 16. I had continually searched and searched for programs that were right for me, that didn't cost any money, because for 17 years, I was practically a single mom. I happened to stumble across this on a web search, and it truly did change my life. With just a 15-minute phone call, they made arrangements to get my transcripts from both schools that I went to, and by the next day, very early in the morning, I had got my admissions papers and I'd started my course. Now, they generally have you start out with 2 courses, and depending on the year that you should have graduated anyway, they backdate it to the amount of credits that you would have had to finish with then. Now, you will be learning new things along with old things, but this program not only does your learning coach, I mean, they've got your back every step of the way. I mean, truly, I couldn't have done it without Sheena and a lot of the other people, my teachers on the program, but they generally start you out with 2 classes. And if you can handle those 2 classes, you can request more to get it done. I managed to get 28 classes done in just under 3 months. And I couldn't have done that without my daughter, my future son-in-law, my mom and my dad. I mean, my friends sitting right there, my boss and my friend Jim Litzenberg. I couldn't have done it without any of them. And every time, I mean, even though I was taking on 6, 7 classes at a time and finishing within a couple weeks, or even a week on some of them, if there was a day that I only spent 2 or 3 hours on it, my learning coach, she was right there messaging me, and she's asking, okay, well, you got a momentum going, what are you doing? Don't slack off now. And they made it so seamless. As soon as I was done, they were the ones that got in touch with the Department of Education. They were the ones that got in touch with the school. I mean, this program, I would recommend to anyone that wants to get their diploma. I mean, I waited 21 years. And as I said before, it was the biggest mistake of my life, dropping out of school. But thanks to everyone with Graduation Alliance, everybody at Owens Community College, and every one of my friends and family, I can finally say I actually did it.
You did.
Does anybody have any questions about the program for me?
Well, we certainly appreciate you coming and sharing with us, and congratulations.
Thank
That's
you
a great,
again.
great accomplishment. Have anything to add to how that program works?
No, I'm just excited, and what an inspiration, because our directional system is to inspire all to inquire, dream, and excel. And if you look at our all, it includes community. And so if we can inspire people and help people complete this program. I think we're doing great things, and we need to continue to support and do whatever we can do to help. So thank you so much. I'm going to speak for Mr. Watkins, but I know that you have a busy evening, so if you would like to leave, we will not be offended. We appreciate you being here.
Friends of Bamberg.
The true graduation ceremony is a little longer, but you're special. We had your
Good
own.
to see you. How are you?
Thank
Doing
you.
good, doing good.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have Christina Cross presenting.
Hello, good evening. I'm Christina Cross, and I am the Career Readiness Advisor for Kenton City Schools. I want to present to you tonight about why we need career readiness in our district, what career readiness means, and what my role is here at Kenton City Schools to provide career readiness. So, Mike DeWine, our governor of our state, said when Ohio students graduate high school, they should either be college or career ready. In fact, he said this today in a press statement, and I wanted to be sure to include this because from the very, very top of our state to our school districts across Ohio, career readiness is now at the forefront. And so I'm proud to be part of Kenton City Schools and know that our school district is taking this very seriously because this mandate is coming from the governor and the Department of Education. So what is career readiness? Career readiness is preparing our students for a successful entryway into the workforce. And I kind of came up with this. There's 5 E's that I think every student should leave or go into the workforce with these certain competencies. Employability skills, the awareness of enlistment opportunities, entrepreneurship opportunities, education and exposure. What I'm really focused on in my career readiness advisory is the education and exposure piece. However, I will tell you that I know for sure that Kenton City Schools is touching on all 5 E's already and is going to enhance those 5 E's in the years to come, and I'll explain. So why career readiness? Well, Ohio has a 5-year strategic plan called Each Child, Our Future. And that is each student is to find the relevance of his or her learning, so purpose-driven learning, and to be exposed to practical real-life work settings and begin, that should say, finding his or her future during high school. So there's the strategic plan from the state of Ohio, and it has the different learning domains, et cetera. And I will have my slide point presentation available for you afterwards, okay? Our state superintendent, Pablo De Maria, says today's students are tomorrow's workforce. We are committed to supporting students in acquiring relevant, marketable skills that empower them to achieve success in Ohio's emerging and priority industries. So we are very much aware, both from the governor to also our state superintendent, that we have to prepare our students for the workforce. It's a mandate. So why else career readiness? We have an abundance now of high-tech industry jobs that are emerging, and the university degree is no longer the gold standard. It's no longer the guaranteed path toward financial success. So we have to recognize this and address this within our education. Just today, there was a press release talking about Ohio Department of Education and the governor's office partnering together for a workforce transformation called the Innovative Workforce Incentive Program. There's $34 million now available for the next 2 years, and this funding is going out to school districts across Ohio to ensure that students have access to in-demand, industry-recognized credentials and opportunities to learn. Also, there is a need for career readiness right here in our home county, in Hardin County. We know from the chamber and other statistics and data that workforce development is needed, and that's not my presentation today, but I know someone else could give that very easily. But we need to attract and retain our talent here. We need to make sure that our students that we are turning into, graduating, are ready to not only stay here, but want to stay here. And also they are they are prepared to go into the workforce. So why else career readiness right here in Kenton City Schools? Well, we have surveys and lots of feedback from teachers, parents, community members that have all reported that our students are lacking or just need more job skills. They need more career readiness. And so some other statistics that I have found are grad data. 41.7% of 2016 Kenton High School graduating class entered college within 2 years. So not everyone's going to college, and we need to recognize that. We need to say, okay, we can't just prepare all of our students for college. They're not all going to college. So what else? And then 23.3% of our 2012 KHS graduating class graduated from college within 6 years leaving high school. So that statistic also says that while they may have gone to college, they might not have graduated and completed college. And I have a link and everything where you can look up those statistics as well. But these facts, or this data, is definitely telling us that we again need to make sure our students have sort of a plan or a pathway. Another thing that happened that was very incredible and great for our district is that this past spring, as you well know, we were awarded with the Expanding Opportunities for Each Child grant, the EOEC grant. And with that grant, we are now allowed to use that funding to expand our career and pathway options for our students, and also to plan strategies to transition to Ohio's new graduation requirements. So, with the passage of House Bill 166, it recently just decreased over the summer state testing, but increased center, and that's supposed to be student-centered options toward new graduation requirements. They're also called the graduation pathways. So you're going to be hearing, students in the audience are going to be hearing a lot more about student graduation pathways as a student, because you are going to be starting to explore the different pathway options for you. So our class of 2023, our current 9th graders, must have a graduation plan that includes the demonstration of career readiness through graduation seals. This is not my presentation tonight either about graduation pathways or seals, but I'm happy to come back and do that for you. But I just want to point out that this is where our state is directing all of our students, is to come up with a plan that includes career readiness. And a pathway really is how we are going to organize our education to meet the needs of our students and to help our students enter or advance into a specific career field or occupation cluster. So what's a career advisor? Well, that person ensures that all students have a graduation career pathway or plan, and ensures that our students are getting those 5 E's that I will be talking about. So education plus career skills and awareness while attending Kenton City Schools. So one big thing that I was talking about earlier with the 5 E's is employability skills. And a lot of that comes down to, what is your character? What is your work ethic on the job? Do you show up on time? Do you follow protocols? That type of thing. And so we're hoping to accomplish this both at the middle and high school with during potential advisory periods and with curriculum such as Leader in Me and the R Factor. These are potential and possibilities. Also, we need to make our students aware of enlistment opportunities, and while we do that, more can be done. We do offer JROTC to our students. We also do have military recruiter visits, but there will be a military enlistment graduation seal, and so more will be done within our school to make sure students have that opportunity to earn that graduation seal. Again, that's another presentation about what the seal is, etc. Career readiness, another E, is entrepreneurship. And we know that we already have Northwood and High Point courses that are giving students career tech skills that they can go out and they can actually be their own entrepreneur, their own business owner, or they could join the workforce. But we also have some new curriculum coming down the road, Invention Land curriculum, and a possible makerspace at Kenton High School, which will foster and develop students' entrepreneurial skills and ability to have job skills where they actually can employ themselves. So here's where I feel the Career Readiness Advisor really steps in, and that's education. So self-assessment, to learn about careers, we need students to be doing self-assessment quizzes, testing, really learn about where their strong skills are, what their personality is like, where they would fit best in a certain career. We also need to have opportunities for students to really research and explore various job options and to learn the necessary career skills, such as how to do a job search and interview for a job. So, how will I help foster and help with some of these education piece? Well, some career counseling, one-to-one, coordination of assessments and tracking students' interests for their graduation plan, continuing to teach the WCC course, some overview of SEALs, district job shadowing experiences, career exploration, apprentice and pre-apprenticeship opportunities, and also the career closet coordination. The next E and the final E is exposure. And this is really where we need to have our students really explore within our business community, within just our community in general, about what job opportunities are available. So that can be anywhere participating in a manufacturing day or in-demands job week, taking field trips, going to career fairs, the Maker Fast, guest speakers in the classroom or to the student body, job shadowing, internship opportunities, mentorship. So what am I doing right now in my career readiness role? Well, I'm still teaching American politics. I teach 2 courses right now. I'm also teach the legal studies mock trial course and coach the team for our OCLRE competition. And I oversee approximately 30 WCC interns enrolled in our internship course. Plus, I'm doing research, more research, and I'm starting to provide recommendations and advice. But this year is a lot of research. I'm going to different conferences. I'm meeting with people that are already in this career readiness advisor role called career coaches. I'm networking with people to find out in other districts to find out what they are doing, what is working, and maybe what isn't, so I can bring that back to Kenton City Schools. Some other things that I'm doing new this year is I'm providing career counseling upon request for undecided students. I'm overseeing seniors that need a capstone experience for graduation. I'm administering the Work Keys test. I'm trying to do some things where I want to keep students and parents and educators informed of career education opportunities. Also, I'm going to be assisting with job shadowing opportunities for students as needed. And then really the bulk of what I'm doing is trying to come up with a curriculum career readiness plan for our students, assessing what we do well already in terms of career readiness and what we could add and kind of fill in the gaps. So that's really what else I'm up to this year. For next year, I'm going to be very much focused on finalizing and creating and finalizing that district career curriculum map, and also really helping to provide college and career education. So I know I have a lot of things listed, a lot of these things I just was talking about. Coordination of career advising, I'm going to help our teachers figure out what assessments and discussions they should have and curriculum they should use during a potential advisory period next year at the high school, and also look at the middle school and how we can fit in career advising there. Creation of a graduation pathway map, and also connecting our businesses to school and vice versa. So I'm going to be continuing on, but not teaching the classes. That's what I understand. But I will still teach the internship course. What is my vision? Well, in talking with the head of some people that are I guess I would say high places in the Department of Education, also at the State House, they are saying that they really understand that career readiness is going to be something that they're going to want every district to have a career coach or an advisor or someone overseeing graduation pathways and plans. So I feel like this position is somewhat to stay, but we'll see how it shakes out. I would love to make sure that we continue to implement our district career plan. I would love to see a career resource center of some sort, and more opportunities to create teacher professional development opportunities to really bridge the gap between our educators and the business community, such as a manufacturing boot camp. There's a program that I've heard about in another district called Year 13, and that's where they follow certain students that might be kind of at risk with either career or college, and they provide mentorship both with educators and community members with those select students, and then to help alumni with career and job search assistance. So that's kind of my envision above and beyond what all the other things I have listed. So it is a lot. But I'm rolling up my sleeves and ready to accomplish it. Any questions?
Do you envision kind of these career plans for each student? You think they'll start as freshmen to develop those and then they'll evolve as they go through each year? Or how is
Sure.
Is that the age where you're going to start?
So I believe in a lot of districts also are starting career readiness at the 6th grade level and in middle school even. And I know for our school district, we're doing that in 3rd grade and younger too. We're talking about jobs. I've been doing a lot of research, like I said, so we're doing a lot of really good things. What I would like to see is maybe a district job shadowing opportunities. I would like to see things on a district-wide level. We are doing a good job, but I would also like to have a plan where we are very purposeful or intentional about certain curriculum hitting students at a certain point. Because, an 8th grader might not be interested in how to apply for a job and filling out a job application online, but we do know 11th graders are, because they're starting to think about, graduating, what comes next. So I think we have to make sure that the curriculum and the experiences are not only relevant and purposeful, but also are age appropriate for the students that we're targeting.
Right. The exposure at the younger ages is more general, I assume.
Yes.
But then the more focused or individual plan would be in the high school years then.
Yes, absolutely. And to your point, it is a state mandate that all 9th graders have, beginning with this class of 2023, that need to have a graduation plan.
Okay.
So
that's
9th graders do, starting this year. And
start to develop
yeah,
that.
Yes.
But remember in middle school, Mark, that they do those, we took the Ohio Career Center courses down to 7th and 8th grade,
Yeah,
so that their 7th and 8th grade exposure are exposures to pathways, because we were noticing that freshman year they were just getting kind of all these options, but they'd never had any experience in them. So they all have experience or exposure would probably be a better word.
Yeah,
They take
exposure,
at least
which
a
is good.
9-week or a semester course in several different pathways, so that when they hit high school, they've had that. And the Invention Lane curriculum is primarily done right now in the STEM classes at the elementary, which drives kids to what they're interested in. Honestly, it kind of says, oh, I like design, or oh, I like to build and kind of do the manufacturing side of things. And so those should also be driving kids when they go to the middle school. And the other piece would be, there's a middle school makerspace, so in the sense that our art classes at the middle school have shifted to innovation and design classes. And so Wes Goldsmith covers a lot of that this year for middle school. So those are some pieces. And then the other piece is the high school redesign, which only 6 districts in the state are involved in, which is truly redefining schedules and those kind of pieces. We've been ahead of the curve for a long time. I mean, we're 4 years into this, so there's still lots of ways to grow, and the EOEC grant was our foundation to help us. And a lot of the skills and things that Christina's talked about you'll see there's a Leader in Me plan. So they offer online curriculum on all these different soft skills, right, that lead to the 7 habits. And so that linkage will occur when she was sharing possibly doing advisory period where we can be intentional about teaching and training those soft skills. So I think there's a lot of hard work going into it, and Christina's been gracious enough to go and represent Kenton across at all these meetings and bringing back all the data. And then the redesign team is the group of people that Doug sits on that is actually creating this plan and expanding our pathways, if you will. So she's done a lot of work.
Christine, I do have a comment maybe. I work over in Lima at the chemical plant next to the refinery over there, and we use the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Union as well as the Electricians Union. And I know we have the welding program here and probably electricity down at High Point, but it might be good to take a field trip or make a connection with those union halls because they really are in desperate need of people that want to join the union and have those skilled trades that not maybe high school kids are aware of, but they pay really, really well. And I think it might be advantageous to at least make a connection with both those union halls.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I sit on the Hardin County Career Task Force Committee, also Mrs. Penzarski as well. And we are talking about a traveling speaker panel, not just to Kenton High School, but and then have it different career trades. But I will make that contact. I think that is important for Kenton City Schools. And, you know, there's different ways that I'm providing a very high level view of what, you know, I'm looking into, but definitely some lunch and learns or ways where we can have students exposed to career clusters, or, you know, for them to realize that not everyone that works at a hospital is a doctor or nurse, that we have all different, we have nutritionists, we have, you know, lab techs, we have maintenance. There, you know, just because you look at one company, that doesn't represent one job, and then the same with a certain career field, that there are many opportunities within a career field. And so that is where the exposure comes in, and I love that idea, so definitely I will definitely put that down.
Do they do training, like apprenticeship type training in those outfits?
They basically have a 5-year apprentice program where you go to class 2 nights a week from like 6 to 9 on, say, a Tuesday and Thursday, but they do that for 5 years. You don't go in the summer. But while you're taking that class, they actually put you next to somebody. I don't know what they pay, maybe $15 an hour, $20 an hour, and you work alongside a guy for those 5 years. So you're getting paid and you're going to work every day, plus you're learning the trade, and you take tests along the way. Then when you get done, you actually receive a certification card where you can go anywhere in the country and work, like the pipeline that went through here last year. Those guys were all from like Louisiana and stuff like that, Mississippi. They're called travelers, so they do financially very well by their regular pay plus their per diems and so on. So it's a good career. It's a well-paid career. Something to think about. Absolutely,
apprenticeships are definitely on the forefront, and there are I know not only the Tech Cred program that's coming out that, you know, employers can apply for, but also there's incentives for companies starting apprenticeships. And that is something that I'm really encouraging the Hardin County Chamber and Business Alliance to look into partnering for our students, because right now the apprenticeships are not within our county, they're outside our county. But that's not to say that our students can't go outside our county, and they should. It's pretty close to home. I drive to Lima every day, so it's not the end of the world to do that.
All right. Well, thanks,
Okay,
Christina.
well,
Appreciate
thank
all
you.
you're doing.
Yes,
and
and
you're on
any
the cutting edge
questions?
of this, so
Any questions? I'm
Yeah.
happy to come back and present on anything, so thank you.
thank you. Now we have Ryan and Grace Collins with us. What? It's not what it says here. You gonna upstage him again?
So as you said, my name is Grace Collins, and I'm a sophomore at the high school, and I will be giving the technology report. For 11 years, I've given this report, and only 2 more will I give this support. With E-rate funds, the elementary has Wi-Fi funded, and in the 2nd grade, their laptops are updated. fiber optics to the field house and old AB, to run the Wi-Fi, network, and security. Security of websites for all to see, the high school, middle, and elementary. The high school website is done, middle school is soon, and finally, the elementary will get its due. As I say goodbye, good night, and for good purpose, the tech department wishes everyone a Merry Christmas.
Very well done. All right. Yeah, you guys can go home if you want.
Christina, too.
All right, public participation. So we are move on to the reports of the treasurer. Do we have a motion to accept? Albert, second.
Rush.
Any questions, discussion, comments?
Hopefully you've been looking at the budget versus actual, and how we're tracking against last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Great.
It
All right, we'll have a vote, please.
Mr. Rush?
Yes.
Ms. Stryker?
Yes.
Mr. Watkins?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
Mr. Carmine?
Yes.
We'll move on to the superintendent's report.
So tonight I get to recognize board members for their years of service to the Kenton City Schools. Maybe close to 10 years ago, I was able to sit in the office and meet Mr. Russ Blue. He served as a board member for us and has continued graciously to serve as our Ohio High Point representative. Now I'm going to let him tell you how many years, because Linda and I tried to track it back, but I'm scared that I will get it wrong, and so I'll let him share. But we've created a plaque for him that says, "In grateful appreciation to Russ Blue for serving as the Kenton City Schools Board of Education representative for Ohio High Point Career Center." And then it has today's date, and it says, "Thank you for inspiring all to inquire, dream, and excel." And if you've worked with Russ and saw his vision for the Kenton City Schools, he served us in so many ways, and his wife has also served us as well in very delicious things throughout all of those years. So we appreciate Judy as well. So Russ, I'd like to present you with this plaque. And I'll give you the box too.
I can't hang the box.
But yeah,
Thank you very much.
so
Really
much for
appreciate
everything
it.
you do.
It's been a great pleasure serving on not only the home board here at Kansas City, which was 16 years, and then 2 years ago when I was leaving here, I still had 2 years remaining on my Ohio High Point service, and they talked me into sticking around for 2 more years. So I'm finishing that up this Wednesday will be my last meeting at High Point for another 16-year stint with them. So it was back and forth together, but 14 of it was both districts at the same time. So I attended a lot of meetings, but it was all worth it. We've seen a lot of changes over the years, not only in Kenton, but at High Point. And it's all been for the good of our students. And I can say I'm proud to be a part of that. I'm glad we were able to do things to advance the education, and we got a lot of great things coming down the road. And the things that Mrs. Cross was speaking about tonight, we're heavily involved in that stuff at High Point, and I think we need to. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that we do a lot of that stuff already. So all we need to do is make the connection with our students and get them headed in the right path. Because we do a lot of internships with every community we're involved. We have 14 school districts, 17 board reps, and our district covers an area larger than the state of Rhode Island. So we cover a lot of ground. But I've been proud to serve as the board member for 16 years and looking forward to my next adventure, which you all see coming down the road. Thank you.
I'm only going to maybe unwrap one of these, but probably have both people come up together. So these are for our Kenton City School board members. And it's a plaque, and there's a gavel that goes, a hammer that goes here, but it says, "Your guidance and direction as a board member has strengthened the bond between the community and the school." And I think even though both their names are Marks, they both have contributed so much to the school district, to the community, and to support of what we do in our district. They are always present, they're always engaged, and I've appreciated everything that they've done. Mark Rush has taught me to make sure that new board members know where their mailbox is, because he didn't know for a long time, and many financial things. And Mark Watkins, I'll miss his text in the morning that the roads are good and that we shouldn't have calamity, because those things do matter, and those conversations only make us better. So, on third shift, that's good. So this is Mark Rush's plaque, and then I can give you your box as well. And then again, I'm just going to double check myself, but so Linda ordered them different, right? This is Mark Watkins. So for both of you, thank you so much for everything.
Thanks, Jen.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
appreciate it.
Thanks.
And if you'd like to say anything, you're more than welcome.
Have at it.
How about it? Yeah, really enjoyed my time on the board. I'll make it brief, but did some building projects and implemented some policies that I think were really good for the district. I would say one thing is the Leader in Me program. I'm really a big fan of developing those skills at a young age, and seeing that program grow within the school system up through the middle school and on to the high school. I think is going to be something that we really need to keep an eye on. And the other thing with Christina's presentation tonight is, not everybody goes to college, and I think that's very, very important. I see it every single day at my work, that the college path isn't always the path where everybody's going. It isn't always the highest paying jobs. It's a lot of spend of money. The trades are really in desperate need, so I think going forward, we really need to focus on that. I deal with it every day, and kind of the desperate situation that these companies are in, because they don't have any young people that want to actually get into trades. So that's something that going forward probably need to focus on. But thank you all.
Yes, when I came in this evening, Jennifer gave me a hard time, says it's very appropriate that school was canceled today, because I didn't really come on the board with an agenda much. It just, one thing I thought is that we cancel school too easily. I didn't really accomplish anything on that. So sometimes what you set out to do, you don't always do, but it really has been a great experience. And going back, I came on the board. I was the young guy, and everybody had been there a while. And Russ was there. And, Tom Brim had hit me up about running, and because there was just one spot, and I was out. I think I was out running, which I don't do much, but I was praying about it. I was like, should I do that? And then the Lord kind of said, yeah, you can do that. And so that was kind of my push to go ahead. Tom and Jesus, put those two together. That's an interesting combination.
That's a mixture.
But now I'm the old man on the board, see, so things change. But I've really come to appreciate much more everything the school district does. The teachers, the staff, the administrators, everybody that, they really are great people that have their hearts committed to their work in the district. And so I greatly appreciate all they're doing. It's been really good to get to know people. Had the privilege of hiring Tracy and being a part of that, and you've done a great job of just bringing us into the future, and you're on top of things, and I really appreciate it. It's been really good to get to know you, and been a lot of changes in my 8 years. When I came on, we had just passed the levy to build the building and went through that process. It was a very interesting process, and was very proud of how things came together, went really smooth. So that brought on other changes, like the selling of the properties that where the elementaries were, and moving the bus garage, and can't really take much credit for the athletic facility, but that Rodney Hensel headed up. But certainly a lot of great stuff happened, and I think from an educational standpoint, a lot of progress has been made, and I think the vision of the future is really good. Jennifer, you were here before I was, but not a lot, and so I kind of feel like we grew up together. It's been a real privilege. Appreciate all that you do, your hard work, your commitment, and she has a sense of humor, which she needs when I'm around. So really appreciate it. It's been good. So thanks to everyone, and I think the district's in good shape, and you guys I think you'll enjoy your experience as a board member. So thank you very much.
Just set your box.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep.
Is that one? So the other thing that we failed to do at the last meeting, because they got away from us after we went into executive session, was to welcome and recognize our future board members who will be formally put into the position in January. So I'd just like to thank Justin and Brandon for attending and for becoming part of our team. There's great things and great work to be done, and we're excited to have you as part of this team. So thank you very much.
Welcome. Okay, we'll move on to committee reports. Finance Committee, we didn't meet. So facilities,
No,
we didn't meet. Extracurricular,
We didn't meet.
it must be December. Career Center, you have a board
Yes, I
meeting?
do.
Okay, there we go, finally.
Someone's on the ball.
Thank you, Mr. Blue. Making me look good over here. So the FFA, I always like to talk about the FFA. They do a great job. They did their first Veterans Day breakfast this year, and they served 17 veterans. Volunteered at Lake of Lights to help set up a holiday display. They had 8 students go to sub-district food science, and where they placed third. They also had 4 students compete at the sub-district job interview contest with a first in the sophomore division, second in the freshman division, third in the junior division, and fourth in the senior division. And all at districts, Chloe Anderson placed third, and Christian Rogers placed sixth. So congratulations to them. And that's it.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to thank Ms. Stryker for giving the reports when I haven't been here. But I did have coffee today with your new representative, Ms. Purcell. She's very excited about coming on board, and she's very excited about hoping to work with Mrs. Cross on some of these new visions that were coming into play here. And being as she's a past employee of High Point, she knows the ins and outs a lot better than some will, and she's very excited to get started and ready to hit the ground running. So
Good.
I hope everybody is able to work with her. I'm sure she'll do a great job.
Yep.
And you got one building project. We just started my second building project, so that's another reason. I lived through the first one.
Yeah.
So tomorrow or Wednesday will be my last meeting, but this is one of the best meetings of the year because our December meeting, our culinary students at High Point serving Christmas dinner to the board members.
Good.
And it's always fabulous.
Yeah.
And who recommended that? Who recommended that the students serve and share? Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Blue.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was more of a recommendation or I just said, let's get it done.
We had culinary to order
Why not
cruising.
showcase our town?
Exactly.
That was special.
But it'll be good. Thanks again.
Policy committee, none there.
There's
either.
just so you know, there's a couple category twos, but they were easy because everything was good. So they're no one had concerns, so they're on the agenda.
Okay. No old business, so new business, item 10, personnel items. Have a motion, please.
Rush.
Albert?
Any comments?
The only thing we might share is that Mark Federley got a ROTC position at Ohio State University.
Oh, nice.
And so that's super for him. We always like to grow, right, our employees. And so our
Awesome.
JROTC program here will be well taken care of. David Clifford would not let anything less happen here, right?
No.
So we're in good hands and everything will be good, but that's what you're seeing in that DEF, just shifting some things around because he did hold supplementals and we kind of need to close that out so that we can move forward.
Okay, go ahead and vote then.
Mr. Watkins?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
Mr. Carmine?
Yes.
Mr. Rush?
Yes.
Ms. Stryker?
Yes.
Move on to item 11, authorizations and resolutions. Motion?
Stryker.
Carmen, second. Once again, discussion, questions?
Some
comments?
things to share. I did meet with the City of Kenton Finance Department with Dennis Musser, and because of some of the new student wellness money that we were given that can only be allocated for certain things, and some ways we can maneuver some of the funds that we do have, we are able to secure a second resource officer. The city still has some processes to work through to make that happen. I'm asking us to approve the contract with them under the same terms as our current resource officer, so that as soon as they approve and as soon as Dennis Musser has someone in place, we're ready to go. We're thinking a couple months out, but I would just like to get it off the table so that the city can execute what they need to do to make it happen. They seem very supportive, and so I think that's a positive. The Leader in Me piece is very exciting. So there aren't many Leader in Me high schools right now, and they have developed a curriculum that I was kind of sharing where we can actually teach and have kids do and interact with how do the habits look at the high school? How do we expand? Because we talk about building leaders, and they are leaders in a sense, but if you really look at the core, it's the habits of highly effective people, right? And so we instill that in the elementary, and how does that look at 7th and 8th grade? How does that look 9 through 12? And this curriculum is a big help in that whole picture. So with the funds that we have allocated from the state that can only be used for certain categories, we're able to do this contract, and that those monies will pay for the Leader in Me, which will get every school established and embedded and create this comprehensive plan. And if you haven't been to KES to do one of the walkthroughs with the kids, you need to do that, because you can see the habits living there, and the middle school is well on its way. So that's what that 11B is. The trip, I think you've got some documentation. I think that came in late Friday or Thursday, so that's something that we typically do. And then just to make a note, coming up at the next couple of meetings, we will be approving some additional purchase service contracts and positions to support the student, what we can use the student wellness monies for. And we did the social worker, so I should say that if anyone is interested in serving as a social worker, they're still taking applications through Health Partners. So you can either send resumes to the school or resumes to Health Partners and just say that you're interested in serving Kenton City Schools It would primarily be working with K-6 and with there's group kind of counseling that goes on 7-12. So doing some of that group work, picking up that piece. So if there are people out there, social workers are tough to find, especially mid-year. So if anyone is interested, you can send resumes directly to the school and we can pass them on, or apply to health partners directly. But you'll see a couple more positions come up in the next couple of months based on how we have used those funds to improve student success, if you will, is how I like to look at it.
Also note your reorganization and regular meeting is going to be set at January 14th. And Doug Carmen is going to be the president pro tem. It's E&F. Go ahead and vote.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
Mr. Carmine?
Yes.
Mr. Rush?
Yes.
Ms. Stryker?
Yes.
Mr. Watkins?
Yes. And then we need a motion to go into executive session.
Albert.
Albert and
Rush.
Rush, second. This is for superintendent treasurer evaluation. 7:50 be our timing. You go ahead and vote.
Mr. Carmine?
Yes.
Mr. Rush?
Yes.
Ms. Stryker?
Yes.
Mr. Watkins?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
And I have everything set up across the hall.
Okay, and we'll take no further action, so